Hi everyone, we are Group 6. Our research was based on retrieval of short term episodic memory in young adults. Most studies already conducted on this topic have not included if the presence of distraction and its duration affect memory retrieval among young adults. Therefore, this becomes the primary intent of our research. So, what episodic memory is? Well, the episodic memory is the memory of everyday events such as times, associated emotions, and other contextual information that can be explicitly stated. It has been proven that episodic memory decays not only the older we get, but also the more time passes between the experience and the recall. Therefore, through this research, we attempted to study how accurately information is retrieved for young adults about distraction time. Moving on with the method section, participants for our research were aged between 18 and 30. For our research, there were 3 groups, a control group and 2 experimental groups with varying distraction time of 5 and 10 minutes. Each group had 20 participants and the distraction was in the form of free-to-play online games such as Pac-Man. The stimulus we chose is a video of 16 minutes and it shows typical everyday activities such as character preparing dinner and doing the dishes. The stimulus was chosen because it offers a great amount of succeeding actions which can be used to test episodic memory. Lastly, episodic memory relates to time, place, and actions rather than facts and general knowledge. Therefore, our questionnaire focused mostly on these type of questions. For example, a typical question was to recall an order of events, but also included multiple choice and short answer questions. Since each participant was randomly assigned to only one of the 3 condition groups, a between subject design was used. Distraction time was the independent variable and score obtained on the questionnaire was the dependent variable. A one-way analysis of variance was conducted to discover changes in score over different distraction times. Now my colleague would be discussing the results, discussion, and conclusion from our experiment.
Moving on to the results, a one-way ANOVA was conducted to evaluate if variation in distraction time would lead to a different score. Results from the analysis did not show a main effect for distraction time on the score, with a F statistic of 0.025 and a p-value of 0.875. Furthermore, a correlation test was conducted to observe the relation between the 2 variables. It was found out that distraction time had a weak negative correlation with the scores obtained, with a correlation coefficient of negative 0.02 and a p-value of 0.88. The findings were then visualized by plotting a box plot of scores for each condition group. The mean scores and standard deviations of the scores were then for each condition group added to a table. The results of the study have made us conclude that presence of a distraction and different durations for it did not impact memory retrieval. The conclusion formed through the study might not be considered as reliable. Therefore, thorough research in this domain is needed to reach a solid conclusion. We believe that there were a few limitations in our research. For example, an online game was used as a mode of distraction, which from a scientific perspective is not reliable. So a better measure of distraction could be considered by using a scientifically approved method. Most of the studies about memory retrieval consider age to be an essential factor, but our study did not account for this particular factor, and this could have influenced the results. In conclusion, this study aimed to determine the impact of distractions and their time duration on the amount of correctly retrieved information. Even though we observed numerical differences in mean scores for different distraction times, these differences were not significant. We found out that short-term retrieval is not significantly impacted by the presence of distractions. Considering the critical role short-term recall plays in the lives of young adults and workers and in overall productivity and efficiency, it is highly beneficial to study different related aspects. This study provides a baseline for future research in the domain of short-term retrieval from episodic memory, where various parameters could be studied to build on the current knowledge base for this area of study.